Are you under the impression your work is not the right fit for you? The feeling that you have talents that are underused in the job you chose? And most importantly, it becomes harder and harder to work in an environment that does not share your values and your vision of the world. It's important for you to have a job that is intellectually fulfilling and through which you can make a good living, but you wonder if there is an alternative way to combine this in a project much more in line with your ethics, a project that makes sense for you and for the planet. I have a good news, you came to the right place. I'm the founder of Creators for Good and I can help you become an entrepreneur to make a difference in the world. My name is Solène and not so long ago I was in a similar situation as yours. I was working at the time for an economic research company specialized in emerging markets. So I lived and worked in different developing countries. It was a wonderful professional experience where I also learned to know myself better. After a few years, it became clear I was not in line with the philosophy of my employer. While we were supposed to promote those emerging countries in order to attract international investors, in reality, the only objective was to multiply sponsorship contracts and generate a maximum of financial revenues through our so-called economic research. It became more and more difficult for me to be motivated, and even with my nice responsibility, because I was asking myself every morning, what's the point? I was on the edge of burnout when I eventually decided to quit my job. The day I realized the best way for me to make a living, do something that really makes sense, and continue to live wherever I want, was to create my own job. Creators for Good was born mid-2014. At first, I provided online consulting services for social entrepreneurs all around the world who need help to structure their strategy and assure their financial sustainability, like I was doing so well for my previous employer. Rapidly, I felt really useful and finally where I belong. Along the way, I noticed more and more people dream as well to launch an entrepreneurial and sustainable project, but don't dare, because they have no precise idea of what they could offer and because they are afraid not to be able to make a living out of it. Based on my own experience and the one of entrepreneurs I helped in various countries, I created step-by-step individual consulting programs to guide you on the journey of alternative entrepreneurship. Through the steps of my methodology, you will design a project in line with your values and personality that makes sense for the society. We will define an offer adapted to the potential clients you will have identified. You will launch your activity and assure its viability in terms of revenue thanks to the internet marketing techniques I learned from the US, through which I developed Creators for Good and which will allow your project to be successful in an authentic way. I did not invent anything. I lived it, tested it, and approved it, and now I share with those who, like me, are willing to be the change they want to see in the world. Want to go ahead? Do the test Am I made to become a sustainability entrepreneur by signing up to the newsletter right under this video. Talk to you soon!